Put your eyes back in your head.
Popped out like flavor, flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.
I think today it's going to be a little bit of a different day. I think it's going to be a little bit of a different day. It has to be a bit of a different day. Because I just find it funny. You know, there's a special someone with AFN that knows about my special talent for feelings. Yeah. It's a special someone. She probably watching right by now, but she know my special talent for feelings. When I get a feeling about something, I'm very seldom wrong about something. And it's not just any old type of feeling, but I get a feeling about something, I'm very seldom wrong about it. I'm very seldom wrong about it. Very seldom wrong about it. And I told from the very beginning, as you could probably see, I told y'all I had this feeling. Just like music, just like music. I tell y'all. On a number of occasions, not just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is something that I really have. I have to speak on it, but before I speak on this, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat right now. Floyd, what's going on? How you doing, Floyd? Bijan, William, Amy, Nathan, Floyd, Sonia. How are you doing, Sonia? John St. Clair, what's going on? Oh, John boy. Oh, by the way, I truly appreciate your scriptures that you post on there. Yeah. So keep doing that. Sherman, how you doing? Bernard. Not Bernard with the good hair, but Bernard. What's going on, Mike? Jared Thomas, how you doing? Gang, what's going on? Noah, how you doing, sir? Billy, what's going on? Southside. So, yeah, I'm gonna need them scriptures today, John. I'm gonna try to get this one out being Mad Mike. I try not to be Mad Mike in the morning, but I don't know if I can make it this morning. So I'm gonna just go and say thank you, Lord, thank you, Jesus, just in advance. I don't want to hear that shit, Tay, bro. I really don't. I don't. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing nice to say about anybody. No, I'll take that back. I got this. This is. It's so many things. I'm a look. All right. All right, Michael. Appreciate it. Oh man. Oh, so I don't. I really don't. I don't. I don't have anything nice to say. I just don't. Tom says, yeah, cool. Is he injured? Yeah. I don't, y'all. I don't have anything to hang on nice. I'm not looking up. I'm not looking up to the skies and looking for anything. I had a problem with everybody. I had a problem with everything. I had a problem with everything yesterday. There's nothing. Yesterday was absolutely. It was exactly what you has been preaching. We want to see growth from the coaching staff. I'm not saying it. Like, one thing that pissed me off, that I was watching the what is the name of the show? But Michael Jenkins, BJ Shockley, those guys do a show about 11:30 at night, and it pissed me the living. Oh gosh. So I'm let me apologize ahead of time, because I don't like, if you guys are sitting in front of whomever, just say I apologize. All right, I apologize in advance. But fuck Raheem Morris, fuck Zach Robinson, fuck Jimmy Lake, and fuck Marquise Williams. Absolutely. Are you fucking kidding me? A team that literally just fired half the fucking staff come and whoop y'all asses. Let me say that again. Motherfucker that done fired the head coach and fired a lot of those staff members and a lot of players that's not even playing, whip y'all asses. I don't want to hear shit about Younghoe missed 5. I don't give a fuck how many he would. From the very beginning of the game, the Saints came out and whipped the Atlanta Falcons' ass. And I asked Raheem Morris, and I asked you guys, and you guys, oh man, Seattle's a really good team, and I knew this was going to happen. Well, it shouldn't have happened. This happens again. This is something that Jew talks about, and I'm sure Jew is going to have his same thing to say about this. Yeah, this is disgusting. I have no confidence in Raheem and his defensive line anymore. Zero. I have zero confidence in Jimmy Lake and his defensive line. Zero. None. I have zero confidence in their defensive line. They have no fucking clue what they're doing right about now. Zero confidence in what the fuck they doing. They are literally out here playing fucking Legos. Just throwing a piece on top of a piece, hoping it sticks. They have no fucking plan whatsoever. And I should have seen it coming because you got 3 defensive backs literally in charge of this team. Jerry Gray is a defensive back guy. Jimmy Lake is a defensive back guy. And guess who else is a defensive guy back? Yeah, Raheem Morris is a defensive back guy. Should have seen this coming. They went right back to the same shit that we failed to begin with. And it literally almost cost us a touchdown. Thank God Alvin Kamara dropped the damn pass, but they went right back to the same bullshit. The same stuff that you talked about. You got to be able to learn from your mistakes. Guess what they did? They put your boy right back in coverage, as we just asked. What the fuck do you have? Why do you have Rashaan Evans even on the fucking team if you're going to put your guy that had one of the best games he's had all year, and you put him right back in the same position that got him? I have no. It's fucking disgusting. We couldn't rush the passer, and the guy that was responsible, the guys that were responsible, yeah, we put them right back. We put them right back in coverage situation. And it literally cost us a touchdown. Almost literally cost us a touchdown. Thank God Alvin Kamara dropped the damn ball, and he went right back into putting Caden Ellis in at linebacker as a cover guy. They still refuse to apply pressure consistently blitzing. They still refuse to. No. That's not good enough. No, it ain't good enough to shut them down in the second half. Fuck that. You're better than them. You're better than them. You got Marquez, Valdez, Scantling, Manton, whatever the fuck his name is. This motherfucker been cut by what 2-3 different teams this year, and he comes into the play against the Atlanta Falcons and look like a fucking Pro Bowler against Pro Bowlers. I don't want to hear shit about Jesse Bates and Jensen Simmons being the best safeties in the field because I'm not seeing it. When you let these bum-ass wide receivers come in and do what they did to you, and it take you a whole half to figure out, like we talking about ego. It took you a whole half to figure out, oh, maybe I need to put my best corner on this guy. He's beating us. No, you didn't do that. You sat there for a whole 2 quarters to figure out what the fuck happened. And this right here, John, this right here, I've been telling you. This is exactly what I said when I was watching the game. What in the fuck is up with them playing Taquan Graham like he's fucking Julio Jones at the defensive tackle position? He's not a freak athlete. I don't get the obsession with Taquan Graham. What in the hell is going on? Why in the hell did you draft Brandon Douglas? Why the hell do you draft a guy like Rook? Like these guys aren't playing, and you're playing Taquan Graham like he's getting 15 sacks a game. I'm not one to sit up here and try to ignore but the obvious is obvious. And we can no longer sit back and say that, all right, it's no longer a fucking problem. This is the exact same reason why, and I don't give a flying fuck who likes it or who dislikes it. I told you one of the there's some positives and there's some negatives in this statement. But the negatives right now are just as loud as the positives. And we're talking about Raheem Morris. He's nothing more but a black version of Dan Quinn. This is exactly why they brought him in. Dan Quinn definitely has some good qualities. That's why we are able to get to the Super Bowl. But he definitely has some qualities that got him fired. So I want Raheem Morris to learn from those negative qualities. I don't give a flying fuck about you and your love for your players when your players are playing like ass. I don't care about you and your love and, oh, my players love me because I believe in them. I don't give a shit. When he done missed 3 fucking field goals, when Avery Williams looked like pure ass, and I'm like, every time he catches the damn ball, I'm just praying to God that he even catches it. Or he don't do a dumb thing like he did in late in the game and let the ball bounce. I'm praying that he doesn't do these things. Y'all really Jermaine, you say this, but this is what they acting like. They act like you act like this man is y'all act like this man is the best defensive tackle. I don't know what this obsession is with playing Taquan Graham early in the damn game, giving him all these snaps, and then, oh, by the way, let's put Grady Jarrett back in. I think he Am I the only one that sees this obsession with Taquan Graham? He's getting more snaps than guys that should be getting snaps. Guys like Eddie Goldman, these guys play well when they get an opportunity. These guys get opportunity to play, and then we get the honor and the privilege to see the great Taquan Graham get his ass smashed and passed around like he got damn, you know who? Suki Hunter. Yeah. He get passed around by every defense, every offensive lineman. He get passed around and smushed and trying to be respectful. What the fuck has he done? There they go and leave us in pass rush wait. It seems like these guys. It seems like these guys have an image of who they want to be the center instead of letting these guys prove that they should be the center of the defense or they should win certain amount of snaps. Let these guys prove that they are good. Look, I don't care nothing about that. It's just disgusting what I'm saying. I'm seeing Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons. These guys, like, how many times in a game I'm so fucking sick and tired of those guys looking at each other. You see Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons looking at each other more than they looking at the football. I don't know how many times during the game I'm looking at Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates looking at each other trying to figure out, all right, who's going to go? This man is running down the field and they steady looking at each other. How many times are we going to look at Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons looking at each other giving up touchdowns? That's the problem. Giving up touchdowns and giving up big plays. Oh, Mike, but guess what? They only doing it a couple times a game. Yeah, I know it's a couple times a game in huge moments. We're not seeing Zach Harrison getting. We're not seeing a lot of guys. Like I don't want to hear this bullshit excuse about guys earning it in practice when those guys who play well, who earn it in practice, are not getting the job done during the course of the game. Okay, let me say it again. I don't give a flying fuck about who is earning it in practice if those guys who earned it in practice are not showcasing it in the game. It's a mute fucking point. It's a mute point. Why am I showing it during practice just to get to the game and not do a damn thing? But that guys who didn't understand what I was trying to say, that's the point. You earned it in practice just to show up to the game and not do a damn thing. I don't care. I don't care about your practice regimen at this point. Because it's week 9, going into a bye, and we still talking about, oh, can we get one guy to get consistent pressure? Because we know Grady Jarrett, is coming back from, a torn ACL, and I'm not expecting him to be the Grady Jarrett of old coming off of an injury like that. That takes time. So I'm not going to be unreasonable when it comes to certain guys. But there's no reason for a guy like David Onyemata to be playing like pure T-ass. Okay? You need to hit his ass in the head with a fucking egg. Hit his damn ass in the head with a fucking tomato or something. When was the last time we said, David Onyemata with the pressure? When was the last time we heard the pressure coming from the defensive tackle? That's not Grady Jarrett. Oscar Soto said, are we pretenders or contenders or pretenders? We're absolute pretenders. And we earn the right to be contenders, but we are pretenders. The reason being is because your head coach, your offensive coordinator is making the exact same mistakes. How many times am I going to see Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier have the momentum, and then we just stop the momentum just so we can pass the ball 3 times in a row, and then we get off the fucking field. And then you wondering why we looking at Younghoe 6 times in the game. That's a fucking problem. Younghoe shouldn't be hitting 5 field goals, 5 extra points, but 5 field goals. That's the problem. There's no reason why we shouldn't have had 30 plus points in that game. Bijan Robinson gets back, he gets hot, and we want to stop the whole momentum of going pass protection and try to throw a deep pass. Sack, Kirk Cousins. Now the Falcons are 2nd and 12. Penalty. Holding, false start. Going straight. You done ran the ball down their throat for 180 fucking yards, win time protection, and you trying to tell me that Younghoe is the problem? Let me say that again. You've ran the ball for 180 yards. Okay, let me say this again. You've run the ball for 180 plus yards, almost 200 yards rushing, and you decide that, no, I'm not going to keep running the ball. I'm going to drop back and I'm going to throw it. There was a moment in the game where Tyler Algier was running through somebody's face, and guess what they did? They stopped the momentum to throw the ball. This is no longer a Zach Robinson issue. This is a Raheem Morris issue. And the reason why this is a Raheem Morris issue is because he's Dan Quinn all over and over again. You remember Dan Quinn allow a certain offensive coordinator to just do whatever the fuck he felt like, and he just sat there like a stupid fucking goof on the sideline saying, oh, maybe he'll get it. I believe in my guys. I believe in them. Let's get the job done. He's going to get the job done. I believe in my offensive coordinator. Yay! He's going to get the job done. It's the exact same. These are the exact same quality that Dan Quinn possessed. You got to be there in the moment. The moment wasn't like right. We got to understand with the Falcons. Like as a head coach, you don't fucking get it, because you clearly don't fucking get it. Fans don't want to hear shit about you and your love for your fucking players. They don't want to hear shit about you and your belief in your head coaches. I don't give a fuck about how you feel about your head coaches or your players. We need to win this game. Be in the moment. This is a rivalry game. You went down there, danced all on their streets, talked all this shit about how y'all number one and we leading this, just to go down there and lay a fucking egg. I don't give a fuck about you and your love for your players. I don't give a fuck about you and your belief in Younghoe. Well, at that particular time, Younghoe was asked, it's 4th and 3, and he's not kicking well. That moment, go for it. Take that ball out of his hand. He's not performing well. He just don't have it today. You take that out. You take that situation away from guys who have not earned it. And that moment, Younghoe did not earn it. He was complete ass. And I look, I don't want to hear about, oh, it was tipped. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Oh, I love my players. I know. Oh, yeah, I do love my players too. And I love everybody on AFN. But when they fucking up, look, I'm snatching that motherfucker. I'm snatching the mic away from them. Y'all seen me do it live. You seen it. Look, we snatch motherfuckers off camera. If things are going left and things are crazy, hell, I've been snatched off. We don't play that. And I think Raheem, and I know, ain't no think, Raheem, he's not in the moment. You are the head coach. You got to understand that if the offensive coordinator calls something dumb, Arthur Blank going to be looking at you like, why the fuck you allow him to do this? You're going to get fired. You're going to get fired. The fans are going to be looking at you. They don't want to hear about how many excuses and how you love and how Julio Jones and all Roddy White and Grady Jarrett. Oh, they love you. They love. Fuck you and your love. We need to win this game, and we need to win this game by any means necessary. Everybody in the United States who was watching this fucking game, in the fucking world, who was watching this game all across the world, saw that Younghoe did not have it. And instead of being aggressive and doing the right thing to win that game, because that's the objective, you can't win the Super Bowl in the week 9, week 10. You can't win the Super Bowl in week 10. Like, what are we talking about? So the objective in that moment was to win that game. And winning that game, you were not going to win that game the way Younghoe was off. Yep, you kept pushing them out there, pushing them out there, pushing them out there, pushing them out there. Fans are not, Falcons fans don't want to hear nothing about your love for players, your respect for your players, no love for your coaches, no play. We want to get to the playoffs, period. We want to embarrass the South, period. We want to embarrass the Saints, period. The end. This rivalry means the most to everybody. Fuck the Saints. And the Saints say the same thing about us. I don't want to hear no excuses about how it get done. I believe ultimately, I believe in Younghoe. Fuck Younghoe. If he can't help me beat the Saints, fuck him. Ain't nobody worried about Tanky Poo. Okay, Tanky Poo, ain't nobody worried about you. Here's another nigga that see another nigga and make excuses for the nigga that they see. And by the way, if y'all don't see my face, I'm a nigga too, okay? I don't care who the hell as my let me say this. Any man, any woman that has kids that in charge today, well, who gets blamed? Who gets blamed? If something goes down in your house, and you can't pay your rent, who they gonna go to? This is a real question for everybody. If you can't pay your rent to your house, if you can't pay your car insurance, who do they go to? Because from the best of my knowledge, Raheem Morris is the head coach. Head coach. Because that's the thing that's the issue that I have. Who the hell am I supposed to blame? Hucklebuck, that's my thing. This right here is exactly what I mean. I question his ability to have this prepared to beat inferior opponents weekly. This type is like it's becoming a pattern. This is exactly what happens under Dan Quinn. We had the same issue with Dan Quinn. We had problems beating inferior teams because you looked past them. You didn't have your team prepared. It's a problem. They damn near had a whole roster depleted, and this is again, our whole roster depleted. You rushed for 180 fucking yards, thrown for 300. You were so this game right here was complete opposite of whatever the hell he was talking about. Because y'all was so fascinated with numbers. Y'all so fascinated with numbers. And the numbers that matters the most is really the quarterback. It goes right back to what we talking about. Offensive play. All these players in the fucking world want these quarterbacks to look like Jesus and walk on water. And when they're not walking on water, y'all have to put together schemes to make them feel like they walking on water. There was no reason for us to be passing the ball in those situations when we were literally getting it. You heard what Bijan said. He said we was getting everything that we wanted, or we was taking it to them. We was running the ball for about 5-6 yards a clip. We running the ball for 5-6 yards a clip, both running backs playing well, and we decided, no, let's not do that anymore. We're gonna throw the ball. It's 1st and 10. We're gonna drop back. And this is the crazy part. This is what I meant to say. I mean, you go back and you can check out DJ Shockley, Michael Jenkins, former wide receiver Michael Jenkins, 1st round draft pick Michael Jenkins. This is where I had to go back and I had to look back. I said, this was you were looking past this team. You were looking past this. The second time this fucking year that you gonna look past the fucking team, worried about the game plan. Because they said it on the show. I need to get a clip of that, but they said it on the show that they weren't running a lot of crossing routes. They were running a lot of routes deep downfield. So you thought that because they don't have Marshawn Lattimore and all these guys, that you could just go in and just start experimenting with the game plan. That they were running a bunch of deep routes instead of a crossing routes we were typically running all year to begin with. You decided against the Saints that you can just start experimenting with the game plan and say, you know what, we're just gonna run the ball. I don't think you guys can beat us. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start running those deep 9 routes. When we did that all game, and then we want to start running those routes towards the end of the game because what? It wasn't work. The game plan, the original game plan wasn't working. That you came in with, it wasn't working. This is what DJ Shockley said. This is what Michael Jenkins said. All those guys said on that. And I know it's not the offensive coordinator because the head guy approved it. Okay? He approved it. Y'all thought because it was the Saints and they were missing this player and that player that you could just come in and just come in with a completely different game plan that you haven't been pretty much playing all year. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. Looking past the opponent, which is the head coach's problem. And this is why I don't want to hear nothing about no Younghoe. I don't want to hear nothing about this offense. It's Raheem Morris. He's the fucking problem. Because he's supposed to set a standard of winning. And that standard of winning is above all the bullshit. I don't want to hear nothing about we thought we would try to implement this in. And if you in week 9 and you still up here talking about implementing certain things into the game plan, that's bull crap. Go with what's working right now. Let me ask you guys right now. Let me ask you guys this question. And a lot of the Atlanta Falcons losses, how have the Atlanta Falcons lost? There's been two ways the Atlanta Falcons have lost. I want to see what you guys think, if you're on the same page as I am. The Atlanta Falcons, in majority of their losses, how have they lost? Yeah, you got your two of their best weapons out, done. A guy that they barely know this guy. Joseph says they're going away from what's working. Keisha says they got beat. Going away from what's working. Offense not sticking to what they do. Run the damn ball. No, that's not true about AJ. It's not true. AJ actually did a wonderful job this game, and even in the games before, he never gave up 100 yards. I think it was one game where a receiver this year is giving up the Falcons giving up a 100-yard receiving to a receiver, and that was to Rashee Rice. That was it. Falcons have not given that up. So when you look at if you look at how the Atlanta Falcons have lost offensively, they never stuck to what they've done. One of the issues that the Falcons do, they like to experiment too much offensively, and I think that's one of the things offensively. If you look at them, it's almost like an identity crisis. But the thing is, their identity is they feel like they are the best, and teams that think that they are the best and they have the best players, they don't like to stick to one particular thing. The Atlanta Falcons, they don't like to stick to one particular person, a scheme, anything. And that's the thing that I'm seeing offensively, that the Falcons, they're not sticking to what's working in that moment. They like to go against the grain, and there's no reason for it. If it's working, stick to it. If it slows down, then you go to something else. But defensively, it's been one consistent. No pressure. Inconsistent pressure. Gotta get pressure. We gotta get pressure, and that's the thing that I'm seeing. It's like I saw David Carr sitting he was sitting in the pocket. It was just like, look, touch the man booty or something, shit. Cross, hit the motherfucker shoelaces, or do something. Choke him out like goddamn Ronda Rousey or something. Like, somebody do something to him. Do something to him. We talking about Derek Carr. He's just sitting back there. Nothing happening. Instead, we want to put Caden Ellis in coverage. Let me say it again. Instead of getting after the quarterback, We want to put Caden Ellis in coverage. Go back to exactly what didn't work to begin with. He has a great game getting after the quarterback, and instead of sticking to that game plan, we decide, you know what? Caden had a good game. His confidence is up. Let's put him back in coverage. And that game, and that right there, that drop from Al Kamara, yeah. This shows me that they haven't learned any. Raheem ain't learned a damn thing. We got to stop letting our defensive coordinators ruin games for us as a head coach. He trusts his defensive coordinators too much. Look, if you ask one thing about whether it's Kirby Smart or Nick Saban, these guys are not going to put their reputation online because they quote unquote trust their defensive coordinator. When they need to, when the heat is on, guess what? Kirby he gonna say, nah, all right, it's time to goddamn buckle up. Let's put out our best blitzes, let's put out our best plays, and let's get this motherfucker. And you're gonna see it from them. I don't need my defense. I don't need my head coach telling me I believe in my defense. No, fuck that. If he hasn't proven that he's a legit or an elite defensive coordinator, I don't need you to prove to us as fans that you believe in him. I don't give a shit. Jimmy Lake hasn't done enough to get the benefit of the doubt at this moment. He hasn't done anything to get the benefit of the doubt. Zach Robinson hasn't done enough to get the benefit of the doubt. So I don't care about you and your belief in your players. You got to do enough to get the benefit of the doubt. You don't blindly just give it to somebody because, oh, I believe in them or I want to be positive. Fuck that. You got to be able to show me something. You got to be able to show the fans. The reason why we know Bijan Robinson is that motherfucker is because what he's been doing. Okay? Not because he was drafted at number 8. Nobody cares about Bijan being drafted at number 8. We know Bijan is that motherfucker is because we see him on the field. We know that Patrick Mahomes is that motherfucker is because of what he's done on the field. So he gets the benefit of the doubt. He gets calls because he's been there. He's done that. Bruh, when I saw that, I said to myself, what in the hell is he even doing out there? Why is Caden Ellis even out in coverage? We've seen this before, and we put him right back there. There should have been an alert to the secondary that said, all right, Allen is going out. We need to have a shell. Instead, you put Alvin Kamara on Caden Ellis. You put Alvin Kamara on Caden Ellis. Are you kidding me? Instead of there being an alert on the defensive side of the ball, you allowed it to happen. We need Raheem Morris to stop having the Dan Quinn mentality and starting having careers. Look, and that's my thing is, I do not care about you and your players and your connection to your players. I need him to be present in the moment. I need our coaches to be present in the moment. And too many times that I've seen that we try to to get Bijan involved in the game when he doesn't have it. And too many times I've seen we try to get Tyler Algier in the game when he clearly doesn't have it. And we're trying to get Kirk Cousins involved when he clearly doesn't have it. So at that particular moment, let's keep doing what happens. How many times we saw we've seen plenty of games where it's like, all right, this motherfucker David Henry is just he's unstoppable right now. And the mark of a great play caller is to understand, all right, this guy just hot. Let's keep giving them the ball until they prove they can stop it. What's wrong with that? I take it the equivalent of taking the ball out of Steph Curry's hand when he's hot, taking the ball out of LeBron's hands when they're hot. You fucking crazy. He's hot. Like there was, I was literally screaming. I was literally screaming inside. I was in disbelief when I saw 2 games removed. Okay, I ain't 2 games removed. What 1 game removed where Caden Ellis, 2 games removed when Caden Ellis, they had Caden Ellis on and the Falcons have they have a talent for putting Caden Ellis on their best athlete. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. But they have a talent for putting their worst athlete at linebacker on their best athlete. The Falcons have a talent for doing that. Why is Caden Ellis repeatedly on their best athlete? I don't get it. You look, I can put Richie Grant or somebody out there, but I'm tired of seeing Caden Ellis on their best athlete. And that's the issue that I have. So this show, the morning show, is more of a recap of last night, of yesterday, more so than the show. But I don't have a freaking clue as to why every time I look up in the big plays, Caden Ellis is somewhere in coverage. And you hear Greg Olsen says, "Oh, he knew it. He knew it immediately," because they know the Falcons have it. That's why they're able to take care. That's why they're able to take advantage of Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons, because the Atlanta Falcons, they know exactly when they show this look, this is exactly what the Falcons are going to do. And oftentimes, it's always put Caden Ellis in coverage, and they take advantage of that. And I fully expect the Falcons to get to the playoff, but the problem is, like, I just need to see growth as a defensive coordinator, and I'm gonna give him the opportunity to get it right this offseason. I don't want to see the Falcons not go after a young edge rusher anymore, because we're gonna talk about Matthew Judon 6 o'clock. We're going to talk about that tonight, about Matthew Judon and where I believe he is at this point and where the Atlanta Falcons should be going. We're going to talk about that. No. We haven't switched up on him. All right? We hold him accountable. Nobody said we wanted Raheem Morris fired. Nobody said this. We said this is a fireable offense. Okay? Let me comprehend for you slow-mos, okay? Fireable offense means what your action, okay, or lack thereof, you could and quite possibly could be fired for said action if said action continues. Okay? Let me say it slow again for some of you slow-mos, because just because somebody said this is a fireable offense that we want them fired, okay? Said action or actions, if continued, could lead to you being fired, a la Dan Quinn. Losing to teams you should beat. Okay? Continuous first round exit. Okay? Losing money to bad off-season moves. Okay? These said actions can lead to your firing because it leads to distrust. If you don't trust the guy to get a said action done and he continues to fail, it could lead to fire. So this is why we highlight Raheem's failures. So nobody said that we want him fired, okay? But these, you look at this particular point, when it comes down to Raheem Morris, he needs to see what he needs to see what his and his coaching staff, what their weak points are, and improve from that. Because if it continues into year 2, now we got a real problem. And this isn't the first time we've had Raheem. And I will give him credit because this is the first time that he actually had a team that he can build from his standpoint. So I will give him that. And that's why I'm willing to give him a good 3 years to finally get this right. 3 to 4 years. I think he deserves about 3 years, Matt, at the minimum, to get it right. But this is a fireable offense, what we're seeing right now. These are the types of things that get coaches and head coaches and offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators fired for making these mistakes. So he needs to get these, he needs to get a hold of this. And we need to see improve. This is what got Dan Quinn fired because he could not get a consistent pass rush. This is what got Thomas Dimitrov fired because he could not get consistent pass rushers, whether it's via the draft or free agency. This is what got these guys fired. So these are fireable offenses. So we need, as fans and Arthur as an owner, to see it get better, or you will be fired. I believe he'll get 3 years because obviously we got a young stud at quarterback that we're going to be looking at. And I think, it's only right to give him 3 years because I don't foresee Kirk Cousins sitting for I don't see him sitting the duration of the contract. I could be wrong, but at some point in time, you're gonna get that guy. Slowing them down in the second half, game starts at 1. This right here, Zach. This is why I say this is a coaching issue. I'm tired of seeing offenses, they don't even average 20 points a game, but they get 20 points in the fucking first half, and then like, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing this every game. A team that barely even averages 20 points a game, we get these guys a 21-20. Like, these guys get off to a good start in the first half, and then the second half they don't score anymore. And then we, as an offense, we gotta pick up the pieces. We got to pick up the pieces. No. She said it need to be found an identity and stick to it. That's it. It really is just that simple. Falcons have no idea if you want to just make a fucking decision. Or you're going to throw the ball and you're going to use Bijan Robinson, Jace McCullough, and Tyler Algier to be say the right word. An asset to that particular scheme. And I get it. But you have to make a decision. That's how you're going to be able to draft guys properly. That's how you're going to be able to even sign free agents. Like if you're constantly changing week after week, oh, I'm gonna run the ball, I'm gonna pass the ball, I'm gonna run the ball, I'm gonna pass. Like you have to have an identity to build on. And we'll stop running the ball just so we can just throw the ball. Just so we can say that we can throw the ball. Because that's what I'm seeing from the offensive coordinator. No, you're not balanced. I don't want to hear that shit. The Falcons are talented, but they're not balanced. It's right here. Being a balanced offense is having an identity. If both aspects are working, there's going to be games where you have to lean on one and the other, but that doesn't mean you're not balanced off. That's what I agree. It's going to be a game. There are going to be games when one aspect of the game isn't working, and it's like, all right, we can completely change our personnel. We can completely change our play calling in order to do that. But far too many times this season, I've seen something working, and they just go away. They go away with it, which is a problem for me. And like I said, I don't care if it's Bijan or Tyler. I don't give a damn who it is. But oftentimes during games, we saw it just this game where Bijan was hot. And we took the ball out of his hands so we can throw the ball and hand it off to Tyler. And then Tyler was hot. And then we took it out of his hand so we can throw it. Like I see this too much with this team. I'm saying this way too much. It's a problem. That's not balance. Taking the ball out of the guy's hands because, I want to throw the ball. I want to get Kyle Pitts 100 yards. I want to get Kirk Cousins 300. I don't care. If Bijan the dude broke like 2-3 tackles on the long run, and the very next possession you get in, it was like I think they took him out and started throwing the ball. Like, what the fuck? It gives the appearance of the team being balanced when you look at the score. When you look at the box score, but like when you look at the game, it's like, look, Bijan is hot. Give him the damn ball. What are we doing? So, like I said, man, I don't have a problem with Raheem. Never said we wanted to fire him. Okay, that right there. But we want to see improvement as a coaching staff. I think we're making I think we're well ahead of most of everyone's expectations as far as this team is concerned, defensively and offensively. because this team hasn't been together, a year. And I have to take that in consideration when dealing with Raheem, Zach, and Jimmy. These guys have not had this team an entire year yet. So we got to give these guys an opportunity to get it right. But what a lot of people, including myself, we get frustrated is because we see the same mistakes. We're seeing the same mistakes. Look, man. Yeah, we get a lot of a lot of them. Yep, a lot of DMs for that. I still haven't answered a lot of them, but like I said, the problem is like, look, I'm not gonna point the finger at one particular aspect or one particular aspect of a game. Everybody want to point the finger at Younghoe Koo. Man, it's kickers. This has happened to the greatest kickers of all time. What they call yips in baseball. Like some kickers, and it just happens. It happens like that. It happens to kickers. It happens to the greatest kickers of all time. It's done happen to everybody. It's the reason why a lot of one kicker that we had that sent us to the Super Bowl. Morton Anderson. Y'all remember Gary Anderson? This man had been perfect all year for Minnesota. Okay? So this is not just an issue. It's just like, what the hell is wrong with Koo, man? He tripping. This happens to all of the great kickers. This happened to everyone. All the great kickers have been through this. Where he can't kick a thing. These guys, and then somehow they go to another team and then they find themselves. It happens. So I'm not sitting up here and saying that Younghoe Koo need to be cut, but he needs to know that this is a problem. Bring in somebody for competition, something. But if it continues, you got to go. Like, these guys haven't been together an entire year. So I'm not saying fire the guy, but Raheem is fucking up. These are fireable offenses. Okay? We're bringing to light the offense in itself. The reason why coaches get fired is because it's repetitive. One, their actions or the results are repetitive, or the lack thereof. Okay? The lack of change and the results. This is why guys get fired. Little newsflash, they didn't want to fire Dan Quinn, but he kept losing in certain ways. They loved him. They still love Dan Quinn to this day. Dan Quinn is one of the most beloved coaches in the NFL, and you see why. Him going to Dallas, they love him in Dallas. You see what he's doing in Washington, they love him in Washington. So he's a beloved coach, a good coach, a great coach. But the results is what get you fired. This is what get you fired. These are the things you cannot continue to. You got to have a plan for them. And this is the thing with Raheem. You can't. I don't want to. I don't care about your love for your players. The media doesn't care about your love for your players. The fans don't care nothing about how much you love Younghoe Koo and you believe it. I don't give a shit. Younghoe Koo believes in that. You can tell, you can whisper sweet nothings in Younghoe Koo ear all you fucking want to. I don't give a fuck as long as we get a win. Okay? So these are the things that get you fired. These are the things that get coaches fired. And like I said, I got something to say about that Judon issue. I'm seeing a bigger issue than just personnel right now. And like I said, we're gonna talk about that at 6:00. I think I may have accidentally given it away, but I'm seeing a big I'm seeing a major issue. I'm seeing a bigger issue at defensive line than personnel. And like I said, we will go in the detail with that at 6. And I don't think many people would, but I'm seeing a bigger issue. No, still a problem. See, that's how your brain thinks like that. If Younghoe, well, he didn't. I don't give a shit about what if he didn't make it. We shouldn't even been in the predicament. You ever thought about that? We shouldn't even been in the predicament for Younghoe to even kick field goals. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about that? Oh, y'all don't want to say why are we even in the position for Younghoe to? Yeah, you see that? See, this is why you guys need to open your brain and stop looking at the end results. Y'all be so focused on one player fucking up that you don't look at the whole picture. Younghoe shouldn't have been in the position to kick field goals to begin with. Doug, what's going on, pimp? How you doing? Rise up, it. Because like he shouldn't. Anybody ever said to themselves, "Why is even Younghoe? Why we got 5 field goal attempts with Younghoe?" You ever think that to yourself? You so worried about him missing the field goals, you ain't even thinking about the fact that we got him in field goal position. He should be worried about extra points, not field goals. That's a problem. Our job here at AFN is to do what? To teach those who want to learn more about the game. Your mind you have a one-track mind. The whole game. We shouldn't even been in the field goal position. If we score a touchdown, you ain't even talking about Younghoe. If we score a touchdown in own position, we're not even talking about Younghoe missing field goals or extra points or whatever. It shouldn't have come down to a field goal. Only be a team on one. Like, we shouldn't have done that. That's the whole point. Your way of thinking is warped. If you worried about winning games with Younghoe, well, you're not doing your job offensively. You're not doing your job defensively. That right there was some bull crap right there on Lindstrom. I'm not worried, bro. You worried about Younghoe missing field goals? Like, look, if he missing 50-yard field goals, it is what it is. Bring somebody else who can do it. But I can damn near promise you, it ain't many out there who can. There's only a select few people in the world who can kick field goals. Okay, soccer ain't easy. Okay, kicking the ball ain't easy. It ain't easy. I tried. I think a lot of people that tried to play soccer is not a easy sport, okay? And it's not easy to kick that football like that. But we shouldn't even been in that position to kick field goals to begin with. We're a better team than them. Like, we losing the teams we should be beating. Again, fireable offense. Losing the team you should beat? No. So, yeah, this right here. That's why I say we're gonna talk about that at 6 o'clock this evening. All right. So y'all be sure, do not. We're gonna talk about that defensive line and what I'm seeing the issue is. There's a bigger issue at hand. And this goes into Raheem Morris, and it goes into that defensive staff that I'm seeing. I kind of hinted to it a while back, a couple of weeks back, but I see the problem now. He's in deep waters as a head coach. He's a player's coach, which ultimately could be his. I mean, it look, if he brings in the right coaches, he'll be fine. But the thing is, you got to understand what your weaknesses are, understand what your weaknesses are, and what your coach's weaknesses are, and bring in guys that know how to do it. And I think that's the thing with Dan Quinn. Well, I know for a fact because I have some inside information. And you actually seen these people not only doing Falcons content, but these guys have stated time and time again the reason why the Atlanta Falcons didn't bring in certain guys that were qualified to be a coach. And that's the thing. Some coaches let their ego. So I hope Raheem doesn't let his ego get the best of him and bring in guys. But like I said, I will get into that. But I will get into that on the originators. So this is what I always say about even Bill Belichick. Like, this is why he's a GOAT. Considered the GOAT by many is because he brought in some of the best defensive minds to ever and say, all right, run my defense. You hear me? Let me say that again. We got Bill Belichick, regarded as the greatest defensive mind to ever coach in the NFL. And he said to several guys, we've seen so many guys under Bill Belichick. We've seen so many guys under him. So many defensive coordinators that played under him. Matt Patricia, not Dean Pease is a guy. Eric Mangini, Romeo Cornell. Like, these guys are great defensive minds. And he allowed these guys to come in and run his defense. He allowed these guys to come in and run their defense. So he doesn't have an ego when it comes down to his defense. When it comes down to his team and his defense, this is what get guys fired. Their ego. Not bringing in the right pieces and not retaining the right pieces. Guys like Brian Cox that was instrumental in helping us develop certain guys. Y'all remember Brian Cox when he came here and then we ended up letting him leave? It was never the same. Y'all remember that? So if Raheem really is, and he wants to be great, and he wants the defense to be great, he's going to bring in the right coaches. And he's going to do the right thing by this team to improve. That's what that right there. So even if, let's just say, if this offense isn't, well, the guy, don't be so egotistical to say, all right, I'm gonna keep Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, because I like him. He's my boy. I don't want to make him look bad. Well, I don't give a damn. If Zach Robinson isn't the guy, and we got an opportunity to bring in a guy at the Kyle Shanahan level, I don't give a fuck. If the Niners decided they wanted to fire Kyle Shanahan today, and he would be the difference to help this Atlanta Falcons get to the next level offensively, bring him on. I don't give a damn about none about that Super Bowl. Because one thing I knew Kyle Shanahan, he gonna have us focus on this running the ball. We gonna run the damn ball on the Kyle. And that's what great coaches and great leaders do. They look out for what that right there. They work. They focus on what the end result is, and the end result is winning. And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about this. Brandon Doyle is, like I said, this gonna be a defensive focus. 6 o'clock. So y'all set the alarms, all that. 6 o'clock. The originators. We're gonna talk about the defensive line because I got something to say about this. Whoo boy. Look, there's a lot of guys that lied about. Like I said, he gonna be put to the test. Hey, Chris. But like I said before, man, this does not mean that we want Raheem fired or anything like that. But the great coaches, okay, they don't have an ego when it comes down to winning. They're willing to bring in some of the best coaches in order to get the best results. And that's what we focus on. So no, nobody has turned on Raheem, but we want Raheem to live up to what he states is excellence. And excellence is all about winning. So do what's best for your defensive line. If they can't get sacks, or get rid of them. If your defensive coordinator can't generate enough pressure, we'll get rid of them. We need changes. Yes, definitely. So I think they're doing a good job as far as developing defensive backs, but that's what we're going to talk about this evening. Denver, Los Angeles, Minnesota. Look, that's some good teams right there, brother. That's some good teams right there. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Like this is some good teams that we got coming up. Like I said, I don't foresee the Falcons going down no rabbit hole as far as losing ways. I think we are good enough. We got a bye coming up soon, so we can get some guys healthy on top of it. Another thing, the offense too, we're missing Dahlman. I don't think people realize how much we're really missing Dahlman. So I think he's another one of those guys. still got a few guys up front on the defensive line that are injured. I just think it's time to move on from David Onyemata. He's just done nothing for us. He's been a great disappointment. I'm just not seeing enough out of him. But like I said, we're going to talk about that this evening. But I think offensively, man, we're such a dynamic team offensively. We're going to cover up a lot of our deficiency defensively. So, like I said, that's why one of the main reasons why I don't believe that the Falcons will go on a losing streak, a long losing streak. I don't see that happening. But we can't get this right here. That Bev Dead Scantling motherfucker just came out of nowhere. We just allowed this dude just to come out of nowhere and just so. Like I said, man, look, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. The Falcons will be look. Everything will work its way out, but at the end of the day, it's frustrating to lose to the Aints. And to be honest, the Falcons were the Aints this past week. We were the Aints. We were the phony. We were phony. And right now, until we prove that we aren't a phony playoff team, that's what we're going to be. We shouldn't have lost that game. And we lost that game in the worst, every aspect of that. All 4 phases of football, we lost. We got our coach, our plays, special team, defense, offense. We just got everything. So, with that being said, man, like I said, I have everyone's questions. Appreciate everybody for joining. And I don't know if we got anything else, but we have something real soon coming up real soon. And appreciate everybody who was at the watch party at the playground. That is the official place for the off games or the road games for the Atlanta Falcons. So if you're in the city and you want a spot to, just sit down, get something to eat, drink a little something, talk some ball with us, check us out at the playground we're talking about every road game for the Atlanta Falcons. So that will be the spot for us. So hit not only myself up, Miss Maggie, OG Truth. Peace.
Put your eyes back in your head.
Like flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skim the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.